Thank you for joining us today. The Strolling of the Heifers is having a calming out party. Sweet 16, let's all moo. Brattleboro's own unique celebration of dairy. And with us is Mother Heifer, to my far left, Orly Munzing, the manager of the Strolling of the Heifers, Ann Latches, and Phyllis Trier, a great volunteer to my immediate left. She's been involved in a number of food-related events, so as you can tell, she and I have gotten real chummy over the years. Thank you all for joining us. And Orly, maybe to start off with, in case somebody's watching this and saying, Strolling of the Heifers, what the heck is that? How did we come up with this idea?
This idea came up actually 17 years, and Strolling has been here for 16. When I was visiting with my neighbor, farmer, orchardist, Dwight Miller. And he explained to me that if we don't do something and let people know how important it is to support our local farms, we're not going to enjoy these farms. And since I live right next to the farm, I wanted to be sure that I continue to enjoy this farm. And I came up with this whimsical idea of Strolling of the Heifers, and here we are. And it evolved into so many other things besides that. And today, the Strolling of the Heifer Parade and Festival is the vehicle that provides us with fundraising for all the good work that we do year-round.
It really has come a long way. About how many people get involved on a yearly basis?
On a yearly basis, I want to say total 300 or so. It's a lot of people. It takes a community, and then there's other people, and the people who come and support it are also part of it. So it takes a community to really make a successful Strolling of the Heifers.
And the journalist in me would ask, have you made a difference? Have you increased attention on agriculture, and have you put food in people's mouths and money in their pockets?
Well, we certainly hope so. Especially with the programs that we run now, which is economic development. We have our Wyndham Grows that scales up small businesses that support farms. We have a farm-to-table apprenticeship program that provides training, culinary training, and nutrition training to people who are underemployed. And we have all kinds of lectures and workshops relating to the food sector and supporting our farms.
So you really continue to make a difference, and one of the big differences for an old farm boy like me who still eats like a farmer even though he doesn't milk cows every day is you're doing a food contest again. I want to find out all about that from Phyllis Trier. What are you doing this year, and how's it going to work?
Well, this year we are making pies. It's the Great New England Fruit Pie Baking Competition, which is always held on Friday evening at the River Garden, the night before the parade. So in advance of that, folks have to go online to strollingoftheheifers.com. You'll see right in the middle of the page a link to the pie baking contest. You fill out the entry form, and the entry forms have to be in by this coming Friday, the 12th, May 12th. So what we're looking for are fruit pies, any kind of fruit, mixtures of fruits. They could be fresh in-season fruit. It could be fruit that's been in your freezer, or canned fruit, any kind of fruit, and be creative. And you have to make a pie crust from scratch. So
that's almost a lost art, isn't it?
Well, a little bit, but it's a good challenge for people to get their rolling pins out again and freshen up their skills. So King Arthur Flour is one of our key sponsors. So to honor them, we have a requirement that the pie crust has to have at least a half a cup of any kind of King Arthur flour. It could be gluten-free, it could be regular, whatever. And the pie crust part of the recipe doesn't really have to be totally original. I mean, it can be a good old standby as long as it has King Arthur flour in it. But your pie filling and the overall recipe has to be an original recipe, something you've created yourself, maybe an old recipe and you gave it a new twist to make it really unique. Could be an old family recipe, something your grandmother or your great aunt made. But as long as it's never been published, it's never been copyrighted, it's something that we're not going to find in a cookbook or online. So it needs to be creative, and of course it has to taste good. And we'd like to see as many local ingredients used in it as possible, you know. So whoever is selected as finalists, we will, once these entries come in this week, we will select finalists. They'll be notified by the 20th of May, and then they've got a little time to practice. So the recipe that you send in has to be for just one pie, a 9.5 inch standard pie. But we're going to ask the finalists, and only the finalists, people who've been notified, to bring 2 identical pies to the River Garden on Thursday, June 1st. And we will give those finalists all the details in writing. So they're going to bring 2 pies, and there will be judging that evening. So the judges, and we have a group of foodies.
You always do.
We always do, yep. And over the years, we've had a lot of different local people who are judges. So the winners will be selected on Thursday night, and then on Friday evening, at the River Garden, there's a whole collection of people who will be sampling cheeses and breads and all kinds of yummy things. And that Friday evening, the general public has an opportunity to come in and taste the entries, the pie entries, and they can judge also. So the public will pick their favorite. So then around 7 o'clock, we usually announce the winners. And that's out in the street. There's a music platform. What do you call that?
A bandstand.
A bandstand, there you go.
Or a moose stand.
A moose stand, okay. And usually the governor joins us when he's available, so we hope he'll be there. And or Bernie. So we will announce around 7 o'clock, then we'll announce the winners. And the prizes will be given out, and I'll tell you what those are. The first prize is a $150 gift certificate to King Arthur Flour, which can be used in the store or online. They also get a beautiful King Arthur Flour gift basket. The second prize is a $100 gift certificate to King Arthur Flour and a beautiful gift basket from Grafton Village Cheese Company. The third prize is $75 gift certificate to King Arthur Flour and a gift basket from Cabot Creamery. There will be an honorable mention, which is a gift basket from Cabot Cheese, and the community favorite winner will get a gift basket from Grafton Village Cheese.
The nice thing about this is we're all dealing with Vermont products, especially King Arthur Flour.
Yes.
In Norwich, Vermont, thank them for their corporate support as always.
Yes, and it's a really nice local company. It's an employee-owned company, which is nice. And so they've been a big supporter of ours, and of course they're supporting baking,
And there
So,
are other sponsors who support this as well.
yes.
Oh, definitely. And
They are
we'll-
just our key sponsor. But all these other cheese companies are sponsors. And
Incredible.
yeah.
So while all this is going on inside, and what's going to be going on outside on Friday night, the night before the stroll?
More food. So yeah, this is the year of bring your biggest appetite. Friday, street vendors, we have them pretty much all set. We're pretty much full. We have room for maybe one more. But we have street vendors from tacos to caramel corn to maple cream on fried dough, chicken, rotisserie chicken. There's just so many, a variety of vendors. That's just for Friday, and there's umpteen more on Saturday, obviously. But so there's also some other vendors. We have a lot of nonprofits downtown. It's really important to stop by and visit them as well. Some craft vendors will be on the street, some, I think, jewelry and some pottery and maybe some clothing. There's always face painting for kids and henna tattoos and things along those lines. and there is the bandstand. And then in addition to not just the pie contest inside, the Friday Street Festival has the River Garden portion, which is where we have 8 alcohol vendors. And this year we have, they've been selected from different Vermont suppliers who are, there's a meadery coming for the first time this year, I think, a couple cider companies, a brewery, and a few distilleries. So that'll be a nice treat. And some of these are companies that we haven't seen down here.
And this is all
retail.
sampling.
This is sampling. You can buy closed bottles. It's not come in and have a full drink, but you can certainly sample everything that they have. In addition, Phyllis mentioned the treats. So there's crackers and chocolates and cheeses, and then there's salsas and just so many different savory and sweet sampling going on.
So when you have that kind of combination of food, you really show almost everything that Vermont has to offer from Vermont products.
That's right. There's maple all the way to sap beverages made from sap. It's pretty amazing. I'm impressed with the food trucks that are showing up this year.
So I understand that during Saturday's events, you've gotten the mover involved, and I don't know why the Strolling of the Heifers hasn't had the mover before. It's a natural combination. How are they involved this year?
Well, in the past we'd used golf carts, but this year we have included the retreat farm, and they have the children's farm and forest there now that they should have finished, and Grafton cheese. So we're adding that leg into transportation within the expo. So the mover will be doing a one-way loop from starting at A Candle in the Night on Main Street. So at the end of the parade, people can either walk up or catch the mover to get up to the expo. And then when they want to go down to the retreat, they can hop on the bus. I think about every 10 minutes, another mover will come through, so the wait won't be that long. It'll be air conditioned, be comfortable. There'll be information on there. There'll be a map of the route. And then from the retreat grounds, it goes on to the retreat farm. It'll do a drop-off. People can visit Grafton Cheese as well as the retreat farm, hop back on, then it'll cut back up Cedar Street, come back down Main Street, and just keep doing that. 2 different movers all day. So it'll be an opportunity for people if they just want to take a break.
It's also our way of including the town, Main Street as well, especially for people from out of town. It gives them a chance to really see our beautiful town and the expansion of the retreat farm and Grafton Village cheese and so forth.
They'll tour Cedar Street and see the ski jump, and maybe that'll be an appeal to come back.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Definitely Brattleboro does have a lot of things going for it, and not the least of which is the fact that the mover comes into town daily, even when the Strolling of the Heifers isn't taking place, and their colors are perfect.
Absolutely.
Right. We got it. So
Absolutely.
we've made special
And
bus
it's
stop
free.
signs.
It's a free ride, too. All our bus transportations are free.
So glad that you have the mover involved. You've got a full weekend of activity. Orly, how many people do you expect will show up over an average weekend?
It's hard to tell. We don't have a gate. I like to say tens upon tens upon tens upon tens of thousands of people. I mean, there are people who say 30,000, 40,000, 50,000. It's a lot of people. And that's not including all the wonderful heifers who are the stars of the show. The other thing I want to talk about in regards to transportation is people can park their cars on various, and we have it all on our website, strollingoftheheifers.com, at the high school and so forth, and we have free bus transportation from there bringing people. So you don't have to go around looking for parking. Get off the highway, there'll be great signs. And also, remember to please do not bring your dogs. We love dogs. We absolutely adore them. We all have dogs. But this is not a place to bring your dog. It's too stressful for the dog, and it's too stressful for all the animals in the parade.
That it is. And also, you have a lot of young people that are involved in the parade leading animals. And I remember my younger days, I was kind of nervous and kind of tentative. So you want to make sure that you give them a chance as well.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
It sounds like you've done this again, and all from the headquarters at the Robert Gibson Strolling of the Heifers River Garden?
Absolutely. This is our third year being the stewards of the river garden, and we're so proud of it. And I invite everyone to come in. We've done major renovations. We have now a lower level where we hold our Wyndham Grows and our private offices. It's lovely. We're happy to give tours. The main floor is also renovated, has a beautiful new floor. We have now an amazing kitchen where it's an educational kitchen for our school. We do all kinds of events. We rent the river garden for events, and it's really beautiful. You know, you should come in, look at the outside. There's a wonderful view of the Connecticut River overlooking New Hampshire. There's always something happening. So we invite everyone to come over and enjoy the river garden.
So we've really just scratched the surface of what's going on for Strolling of the Heifers weekend. And coming up, we will talk more about the Strolling of the Heifers parade and the entertainment to be had during the first weekend in June in Brattleboro, the Strolling of the Heifers. And we are continuing on with our Strolling of the Heifers discussion. This is Tim Johnson along with Orly, Munzing, and Latches. And also joining us at this point is Ronnie Byrne. And Ronnie, I want to talk to you about the parade coming up in just a bit. But Orly, as you and I have talked over the years, this can't happen without not only community, but corporate support. Who do you have lined up this year?
Well, our key sponsor, we're so excited to have the key sponsor is Commonwealth Dairy right here in Guilford, Vermont. In 6 years, they have grown so much. It's just amazing. They're a huge employer in our own community and has brought tremendous economic development to our area. We're just so proud of their high-end quality of yogurt and their expansion into Arizona and other places. And they're wonderful to work with, and they're extremely supportive of this community and especially the work that we're doing with economic development.
That was my other question. How does the stroll fit into what Brattleboro is all about? It's a unique way of looking at the arts in itself and trying to grow businesses and grow jobs.
Well, the Strolling of the Heifers is sort of a representation of what this town is. It's the anchor of this town. When I say the anchor, we cannot forget the reason why we have such an incredibly unique community, and it's because of all the wonderful farms that are here. And I think they create the undercurrent, the foundation for our community. If it wasn't for these wonderful farms in this community, and if we didn't support them, I think our town would look very, very different. Any visitor that comes to this town, when we live here, we don't appreciate it as much, but when visitors come here, they notice that whole different vibe that goes on here. And it's all because of the wonderful farms that we have. And you know, when you have farmers and you have farms around you, it kind of anchors you back to the earth. So I think that's why it's so important.
It does. I was looking out from my office this morning, seeing the herd from the Miller farm in Vernon just kind of relaxing after their morning milking. So very comforting, very easy to take a look at. But Strolling of the Heifers is just one weekend a year. What about the other 51 weeks? Why should people be in Brattleboro and come to Brattleboro then?
Well, the Strolling of the Heifers Parade and Festival is our fundraiser that supports all the programs that we do year-round. So when folks come, they love to come and see the Strolling of the Heifers, which is at 157 Main Street, which is the River Garden. And that's where we have economic development. We have our Wyndham Grows program where we're working with small businesses that support farms. We have our culinary school, our farm-to-table apprenticeship program. We have all kinds of events every single day put on by community members. You can hear a lecture, you can hear a symphony, you can hear you can see a play, you can hear somebody share their trip, whatever is available. People have to sign up at least 6 weeks in advance, and our local papers do a wonderful job helping us market it. So every single day from 12 to 1, people bring their brown bag lunch, and they can enjoy for free the wonderful river garden and some sort of an activity that happens there.
But I want to hear more about the centerpiece of the weekend, the Strolling of the Heifers Parade. Ronnie Byrne, you're involved this year, and Rick Chapin is also helping out.
That's right.
What kind of things have you learned so far coming in?
Well, that's a good question. I think probably the most important thing I've learned is just how many people really care about this whole weekend, and how many of us it takes to really make this a go and pull this off. And I really can't elaborate on what Orly said about our community and what this whole event represents. It's really, we are so blessed to live here, and this whole thing just represents everything that's fine and wonderful about being in Vermont. And, you know, I'm sort of being general, but that's kind of, you know, what I'm feeling at the moment.
So who's going to show up for
The rest of it's minutia.
the parade? I know you've got heifers, but
Oh, well, you know, right now it looks like we're going to have somewhere around 90 to 100 heifers from various 4-H groups and farms, and I'm actually really excited, you know, mostly for having those kids be able to, you know, walk down the street with their animals. I think it's wonderful for them, and it's great for everybody to see. We've got 6 bands, we have floats, we have our sponsors are doing some pretty cool things with marchers and music. Our parade theme, as you know, is Dance to the Music, and everybody pretty much who's putting in an entry has said, you know, they're coming prepared, they're going to have their dancing shoes on, and we're hoping it's going to be a big party moving up the street.
that will be a great time, and
Yep.
and especially thankful to see the kids come out, because you know, a generation or two ago when I was one of those little shavers, there were some people who weren't exactly happy about the fact that you were in farming. So I'm glad to see that's turned around.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So who are some of the different 4-H clubs that have already said they'll be coming in?
Oh, well, we've got some of our, I'll call them our alumni 4-H. There's Pinnacle View, there is Windsor, Heritage Hands, Heartland Cattle Club, and then we got a couple of new ones. There's a Monadnock Mountaineers, and there is a group that we got today called Cowtails 4-H. I believe they're out of Massachusetts. So, you know, we've got some continuity, but we're seeing some new ones as well.
And so different sponsors coming in with floats, any antique tractors and things like that?
Oh yeah, Cast and Brass will be here again this year with their tractors. As I said, we have 6 bands, all of the local school bands. Our trusty American Legion Color Guard will be there. And I think we'll, you know, these are folks that have been coming year after year, but we have a few new people, and we'll see some surprises, I think.
I'm looking forward to it. What's been the challenge for you in putting this together and making sure that this animal doesn't get next to that animal, etc.?
Well, so far, we're not really at the point of getting to the detail of we haven't totally laid out who's going where yet. But I can tell you that in terms of a challenge, for me, I would have to say trying to fit in those big, gigantic shoes that Mr. Chapin has left for me to fill is my biggest challenge. He is just a veritable fount of information, and I kind of bounce between feeling supremely confident that I know what I'm doing to feeling terrified that I don't know anything, and Rick usually reins me in when I get into that space.
Now, just for people to understand, the parade route is pretty much the same again this year, corner of
Right.
Flat and Elm, then curving up Main Street to the retreat.
That is correct. We'll be coming in from Flat Street, heading north on Main Street, up to the town common. Some of the livestock will depart at that point, but the bulk of the parade will continue down to the entrance at the retreat.
So there'll be activity then both at the Brattleboro Common and at the retreat following the parade.
That's correct.
So tell me about the different events that are happening. I understand since we have a theme of dance to the music,
Right.
there's got to be a lot of music both during the parade and afterwards.
A lot. Yes, Beth Kendall is responsible for pulling together the entertainers and planning where they'll be. And she sent me her list. She couldn't be here today, but she did send me the update. And I am really impressed. She has 7 a cappella groups coming to play. So she has a separate vocal tent. I think that is usually at the gazebo at the Common. There's a kids tent with a flea circus and some puppetry from Sandglass will
Should
be
I
there.
wear my flea powder?
Yes, you should. No,
Okay.
I just love the idea of a flea circus. I mean, what goodness. Of course. What's a
Another
festival
reason
without
not to
it?
bring your dog.
Right, there you go. Hand puppets and magic shows and all kinds of things for kids. And then other music, we have bands from samba bands to blues, rock. I think there's a female punk band coming, some other good local bands that people know, country, all that. And that's pretty much throughout the day at different places. So upper, lower, there's music tents. And then in addition to that, NECA will be performing. They do a presentation throughout the afternoon.
New England Center for Circus Arts.
Yes, correct. I'm sorry. Thank you. And there's, of course, Bouncy House. And this year we have 3 new small amusement park rides that adults can ride with their kids. So they're not just kiddie rides, and they're not.
They're darling.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. So grown-ups can get
We
on
always
with their
try to
children.
put something different in there.
And Human Foosball is back.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that, and I'm really excited about the Goat Olympics. So
The
that'll be a
Adams
first for
Farms,
me.
this year, the Adams Farm in Wilmington is bringing their goats, and we're really excited to have them as well.
Well, I'm glad that you were able to get their goat. No, the Adams Farm has really done a lot in terms of getting attention into agriculture, and a special salute to Jill because she's been great.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, we're looking forward to that. So, in addition to all those events, there's the activity. Of course, there's more food.
Oh my!
We can't stress that enough. Really, please, I can't stress. Bring an appetite.
I've gone on a diet, so
you have to start now
we've
preparing.
started, both of us. Right,
I
Ann?
just every time I sign up a new food vendor, it's like, oh, I can't wait to meet you. Well, yeah, it's going to be great.
And so
From all over New England, and actually,
Really?
we have somebody coming from Pennsylvania, from Amish country. That's
Really?
yeah, he's all excited.
And so we also have the Health Village, and I really thank Bravo Memorial Hospital and other folks who are going to help us with that. We have our Energy Village, and Sandry is going to be there, Efficiency Vermont, and so many others. We're really excited about that, and there's all these wonderful crafts. So if you're looking for any wedding gifts or any kind of special gifts, do check out these crafters. There is incredible talent. So we're very excited. There's all kinds of things. There's something for everyone. There's plenty of place to rest. We're having our special tent where mothers can go and privately nurse their children or take a break with their children. It's very private. So we've thought of everything, and Wyndham Solid Waste is helping us again. And so I think we have it pretty well set in terms of managing it. We have an amazing team, as usual, putting this all together. And I just want to say thank you so much to the Bravo Retreat for once again opening the doors and lending their beautiful facility and grounds. Most people don't go there during the year, but it's just such a beautiful place. We're so fortunate to have the Commons and the Brattleboro Retreat grounds, so we're really excited about it.
If you look back at the history of the retreat and the fact that it, until the mid-'80s anyway, had a working dairy farm on the property. This is entirely within their mission, and the general health and welfare of the community is what they wanted to support when they first were established.
Absolutely. And Green Mountain Yogurt is going to be there giving out their delicious yogurt cups to everyone. They want the whole town to enjoy it, so there's something for everyone.
Really sounds like it. What are the times that all of this starts on Saturday?
Parade will be starting promptly, I hope, at 10.
Well, it always starts at 10, but people should get there a lot earlier.
It starts when people put their chairs out on the curb at 6.
Exactly.
Yeah. And, I mean, if you got there at 9, 9:15, 9:30, there's pre-parade things on the street as well. You would do very well. But that's the fun of watching all this get together. And on Flat Street, everyone is getting ready. So I have to say, I've done this will be my 16th year. And when that parade comes into Main Street and you see, you know, it's breathtaking to watch. Everyone is so excited to welcome the farmers, the Heifers, and the 4-H club members. I don't know. People who are in the audience every year say it's just magic to be part of this and experience the love that everyone has for each other. And everyone is smiling.
And of course, the expo continues on after the parade throughout the day till, I believe, 4 o'clock?
Yes.
Fantastic, both on the Brattleboro Common and at the Brattleboro Retreat. When we continue, we want to talk about some of the Sunday events, including watching the Heifers get on bicycles. Could that possibly be? We'll clear that up as we continue with the strolling of the Heifers. And again, we are continuing our stroll of the Heifers, which of course gets some major corporate support from Commonwealth Dairy, Orly.
Yes, our wonderful lead sponsor. We're so happy to have them. They're part of our community and a great supporter.
So we have a lot to talk about because there are many events on Sunday of Heifer Stroll weekend that really make a lot of sense. And joining us for this segment would be Judy Fink to my immediate left and Hannah Thurber as well, along with Orly. And anybody knows if you're on the farm, it starts with a big breakfast. So is there a farm breakfast again this year?
Absolutely. There's a wonderful farmer's breakfast at the marina on Putney Road. Where they're going to serve fresh local food from all over Vermont. Vermont Smoke and Cure against the grain pizza shells. They're going to make these breakfast pizza using their shells. There's Grafton Village cheese. There's Cabot cheese. There's Pete and Jerry's eggs, and so forth. It keeps going on and on and on. Highly recommend everyone to go to the breakfast, enjoy it, and then, of course, go to the Tour de Heifer or do the farm tours. If you're not athletically inclined, you can just motor on to the various farms that are opening their farms for the strolling of the Heifers. And this is what it's about, Tim. It's nice to have the farms come to Main Street, but it's really an experience, a moving experience, to go back to the farm and see how hard these farmers work to produce the wonderful food that we eat every day.
You know, I've always said you shouldn't enjoy the fruits of farmers' labor without knowing what they put into it, because they put a lot into it. Now, the farm tours, Judy, who is signed up this year and what can we expect to see?
So there are 5 farms who are involved in the tour this year. So this is the 4th year of the farm tours, and each farm is doing 2 one-hour tours. They start at 9:30 in the morning and they end at 3:45. And they're staggered so that people can sign up for up to 4 farms because there are 4 slots. So the 5 farms are the Bunker Farm, which is a lovely diversified farm with two sisters and their husbands and their babies in Dummerston, Vermont. And they raise cows and pigs for meat and chickens for meat, turkeys, and they also have a very thriving maple sugaring operation. The next farm that's on the tour is the Scott Farm, and Scott Farm is just, I think, a real gem of an orchard that has been an historic farm since George Washington was president. It's a long time, and also with some very, very lovely historic buildings. And they have over 120 varieties of heirloom apples. And Zeke Goodban, who is the orchardist, does a wicked good farm tour. It's great, really, really interesting, fascinating tour. Wild Carrot Farm is a new farm this year, and they're also a very small family farm, and they're right across from the golf course in Brattleboro. And they are a horse-powered farm, which is very interesting. So all the work that is done on the farm is done by these two big hulking draft horses, and they raise animals for food, and they also have a really lovely vegetable operation, a thriving CSA, and a farm store that's open year-round, and people can help themselves too.
You did one of those jargon things, and I try to explain to people as we go. CSA, Community Supported Agriculture.
Yes.
You go at the start of the year and you buy a share, and in exchange for that, you get a quantity of the produce that is grown every week during the season, because that's a great way to help the farmer get money up front for things like seed, and of course when you're organic, you're not worried about fertilizer, but a lot of the other things you'd need to be able to continue to grow.
Right, so you're supporting the farmers as they are growing their food for you. Bunker Farm has a meat CSA, by the way. So the fourth farm is the Robb family farm, also a really multi-generational, old, beautiful farm. They had been a dairy farm for many years, and now they're primarily a beef farm and also a maple sugaring operation, just up the road from Lilac Ridge. And actually, a lot of the rides go past there. And the last farm is also a new farm for us, not a new farm on its own right, but a new farm for the tours, and that's the Miller Farm, a dairy farm. And they are a large dairy farm in Vernon, Vermont, and their milk is sold to Stonyfield. It's an organic dairy farm, and it's so I'm excited to go on their farm tour to see what they have to offer.
I see them every day.
That's right, because that's your neck of the woods.
Oh yes.
And just Orly had mentioned about either or, and it doesn't necessarily need to be an either or. You can do all three things. We had a family last year, I believe, who drove from Michigan.
Yes. I remember those.
And it was a parents and their adult daughter, and they drove from Michigan, did the ride, and then visited two farms. And the breakfast. I think they might have gone to the breakfast too. Right. So people can sign up for this online. We're asking people to pre-register. It's free.
You can make a donation.
Yes, that's always encouraged and lovely to do. And last year we've had, so this is our fourth year of having more of a guided farm tour where the farmers are very much involved and people who come. We've had up to about 300 people sign up.
We had to close it after a while because we can't take more.
Yeah.
So I encourage people to sign up now.
Yes.
Because it does close early.
One suggestion for the farm tours: sensible shoes. I think flip-flops really wouldn't be appropriate.
Right. Definitely closed-toed shoes, because there's a little mucking about that you'll need to do. And that's all part of the fun, is just getting a little bit dirty while you're out there with farmers.
Indeed. Now I want to focus in on Hannah, not just for the tour to Heifer, but you and I have grown up through all of this, spent our younger lives working in agriculture. What do you think about all this attention to what farmers do?
I think it's great. I think it gives people a new perspective on what it takes. I mean, there's a lot of educated people out there who do understand, but there's nothing like actually being on the farm to get a sense of the day-to-day reality of it.
I mean, this is hard work, but hard work that you love.
Yeah, definitely. And my husband and I have just become partners in the maple sugaring operation as part of Lilac Ridge Farm, and so that's given me also a new appreciation for the business end of it. So that's a new thing for me. So I appreciate that learning curve that people have when they get to a farm and get to learn about that.
And that's a good point, because people forget that farms are actually businesses. You've got to be able to keep the books balanced to stay in operation.
You do. You do. You have to be able to do a lot of everything. You know, you have to be a mechanic, you have to be good with crops, you have to be good with animals, you have to be good with finances, you have to be good with marketing. It goes on and on.
And then, of course, you have enough energy to go attend a 4-hour school board meeting at night, or maybe go to a men's or women's league softball game.
Right, or your kids' school events.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's an amazing life, and one that we can't appreciate enough. But you have a time where you and your husband and a lot of your friends get the bicycles out. Tell me about Tour de Heifer.
We do. We love to bike, and that's why I coordinate it, and that's why we have a great team of volunteers who are all local cyclists or people who just like to ride their bike. They might not call themselves that, but so we're based at Lilac Ridge, which is, since we're talking about farms, is an organic dairy farm. They also grow vegetables and cut flowers. It's an Organic Valley cooperative member, run by my brother and my sister-in-law, and my parents still help out as well, some.
Your parents are amazing people.
They are. So they're still very active, yes. So we're hosted by Lilac Ridge, and we offer 3 different rides for varying levels of ability and enthusiasm. So 15 miles, 30 miles, and 60 miles. They all start and end at the farm, and they go out into all the surrounding towns, quiet roads for the most part, mostly dirt roads, lots of hills, because you can't live in Vermont without going up a hill. And I have to say, the Michigan folks who came were surprised by our hills. They thought they had hills in Michigan, but
No, they don't.
No.
Actually, no. They realized that they didn't. But, you know, there's some gorgeous dirt roads around here that people just haven't really had a chance to ride on. I just went on Green River Road 2 weekends ago with my nieces, and it was great. I think we got passed by 2 cars, and they were just riding along. It was nice, and, you know, springtime was in the air, and you could smell the dirt and the trees, and it was just great. So we like to share that with our riders, and so we set up all these routes, and we have snack stops and water stops, and everyone stops at the Green River Covered Bridge, which we all know is a gorgeous place to stop and have a snack.
And during the appropriate weather, it's a great swimming hole too.
It is. June is a little chilly for that.
Yeah.
But I have seen the kids go in.
Oh yes.
Yeah, definitely. So it's a pretty well-supported ride. We have a lot of volunteers who are out there patrolling the courses and trying to make sure everybody's okay. And then they get back to the farm, and there is wood-fired pizza waiting for them, including gluten-free, and lots of snacks, and a chance to just relax and reward yourself for a good ride.
And also the Whetstone is...
Right, Whetstone Brewery this year is going to offer samples, and we'll have drafts for sale. So you can have that to go with your pizza.
But there are a lot of people who come and just have the lunch, just to be at the Lilac Ridge Farm with this wonderful pizza, brick oven pizza that Tristan Tolino brings, and salad, and Green Mountain yogurts, and all kinds of different things. And if it's the right time, we'll have strawberry shortcake. And then we have music on the farm. Alan Greenleaf and the doctor come and play, and they're amazing. So it's just a beautiful place to hang out, and there's quite a few people who just come for the lunch, which is wonderful, after they do farm tours. So I invite everybody to come and enjoy this magical place.
There's also a hike. Sometimes we have couples or friends who one person bikes, the other person hikes. So there's a guided hike up Round Mountain. So it's about 3 miles round trip, and it's led by George Weir, who's the farm's forester. So he gives sort of an interpretation of what you're seeing. But you can also just go on ahead if you want to sort of have a little fitness hike. It's a great little mountain to climb.
Whether you hike or whether you bike, the most important thing is going slow enough to take in the scenery around you, and just kind of realize that that there are things bigger than driving down the road with a stereo cranked in your Beamer and the windows up.
Yeah, right, exactly.
No, this is a great thing. And how do people sign up?
They sign up, they can go to the Tour de Heifer website, and that will direct you to the registration page, and it has all the details.
So basically, they go to www.strollingoftheheifers.com and look for the Tour de Heifer, or they can go to Bike Reg.
Bike Reg is an online bike registration site.
And then they put in Tour de Heifer, and they can get on there. And if they have any problems, they can certainly stop by the River Garden and ask us. But, we'd love everyone to come and enjoy.
Between the events on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, this is just a whirlwind weekend for anybody who would want to show up. And have you continued to find ways to make this grow?
We never stop. This is our 16th year, and we keep getting bigger and better, and have really what makes this whole event is this community that comes together, and we listen to people's ideas. This is really a process that we take in. So anyone who wants to come and volunteer, we'd love for you to come and volunteer. Just go to www.strollingoftheheifers.com and look at the registration page, or stop by the River Garden, or give us a call at the River Garden, and we'd love to talk to you. We'd love for you to be part of this, all year round or just for the parade.
I'm curious, the way this has grown and nurtured itself over the years, could this sort of thing happen anywhere else but
I don't
Brattleboro?
think so. And I will be honest with you, I have helped people in Pennsylvania, people in Alaska, people in Australia, and in Wisconsin. Basically, I tell them everything, I give them everything, and so forth, and they're not able to pull that through. And I think it's because they don't have the community support that we have.
Well, you all have done a great job in just being ambassadors not only of what you do, but ambassadors of a great industry and a great community.
Thank you, Tim. And you've been with this now for 16 years as well.
Yes, I've worn through about 12 different pairs of shoes so far.
That's right. Well, how many T-shirts do you have now? 16?
Pretty close. And this, of course, is the Abbey Road design T-shirt.
That's right. That's right.
Being a music file, this was a great comparison to the Beatles' Abbey Road album cover.
That's right.
But all of this can be found on the Strolling of the Heifers website, strollingoftheheifers.com. And certainly, in case people want to know more, or maybe visit Brattleboro when it's not Strolling of the Heifer time, they can call your office?
Absolutely. And, this year, Vermont Public Television is working with BCTV. BCTV, by the way, is an amazing organization for Brattleboro. We're so lucky to have them. And BCTV is recording it so that Vermont Public Television can show it regionally and possibly nationally. So we're really excited.
Well, only in Brattleboro could this all be pulled off. Orly Munzing, thank you so much.
Thank you so
Hannah
much.
Thurber, Judy Fink. Also, thanks
you.
to Ronnie Byrne, Phyllis Trier, and Ann Latches, who joined us all earlier. The Strolling of the Heifers, where else would you be the first weekend of June in Brattleboro but the Strolling of the Heifers? This is Tim Johnson. Got to move along, but that's right, move along. We'll see you at the Stroll.